Nissan X-Trail since 2015. Hello everyone! However, the presence of one or another type of drive will in no way affect the resistance of the body to corrosion. There are no complaints about the body hardware itself, but the paintwork cannot boast of strength and sufficient thickness. Therefore, after a couple of years, chips and strays decorate the front of the crossover. However, in damaged areas, rust will not appear soon. Parts that have lost their face, dealers usually update under warranty for free, although there is no certainty that in years they will not darken again. Therefore, many owners resort to booking the body with a special protective film, which is pasted over not only the element of the external decor, but also the optics. It is also applied to bumpers. True, in addition to chips and the pin paint, the front bumper has another problem. After a year or two, it sags due to filmy mounting caps, forming a decent gap with the wings. However, the appearance does not suffer much from this, but the attentive master's eye is still annoying. There are complaints about the doors closing with a noticeable effort. Dealers tended to grease their locks, which also does not interfere with the leashes of the front and repair wipes. In the cabin, crickets can annoy, the colonies of which only increase the age. In general, there are many sources in the crossover from where external sounds and noises come from. For example, when turning the steering wheel on cold weather, the steering cutting arm creaks. It is treated with periodic lubrication or replacement of a defective part with its upgraded version. Among the electrical problems, incorrectly working climate control can be distinguished. In cold weather, it is impossible to adjust the optimal temperature in the cabin. Dealers usually change the nose control unit, although the CAN bus causes the most problems. Due to poor contact in its connector, the climate turns on and off by itself. The defect was missing, and after 2017, the Japanese began to install a new CAN module block. If your car is under 2 years old, soldering all the CAN bus connectors helps to get rid of the disease. By the way, the performance of the keyless entry system also depends on its integrity and reliability. If the batteries in the key are normal, then the problem will be solved by the same soldering of the CAN bus contacts. With motors, everything is easier. The most popular among them is the 2-liter gasoline 4. This unit was also installed on the predecessor models as well as the 2.5-liter one. I must say that both motors are similar in design and do not differ in absolutely healthy heredity. The Japanese modernized these units, but some of the systems inherent in their predecessors still queue. For example, on long runs closer to 200,000 kilometers, oil will begin to leak through oil seals, gasket and seals, and piston rings may also lie. Approximately to the same run, the gas distribution chain is stretched. By the way, on its predecessor, it was already stretched to 100,000 kilometers. The first symptoms of oil malfunction are poor cold starts of the engine and loss of power. It is important to recognize the malfunction in time. After all, the timing chain that has grown in size will jump a couple of teeth, and the valve timing will shift, and then the piston may meet with the valves. And costly repairs are guaranteed. So while the owners of used Nissan X-Trail do not face engine problems, after all, the car is still relatively young. Even though the 3 to 4 year old Speedmen have hardly run more than 100,000 kilometers. We hope that they pay the same amount without breakdowns and cost. However, it must be borne in mind that the phase shifter clutch, crankcase, exhaust valve, idle speed and mass airflow sensors are at risk for engines. Against this background, the turbo diesel looks more advantageous. It is considered almost trouble-free, although there are troubles with the particulate filter. If you can't burn it yourself, they usually change it to a new part. Although, even after that, the filter may not perform its functions. Dealers attribute this defect to our not the best quality fuel. Glow plugs wear out very quickly. They, as a rule, are updated every 70,000 to 100,000 kilometers, along with the incandescent unit and the battery, which by this time begins to hold a charge poorly. In this case, attention must be paid to the generator. With all engines except for the 2.5-liter 6-speed manual gearbox is combined. It is quite reliable and durable. True, even on new diesel crossovers, when reversing, the reverse gear flies out. The box was repaired for free under warranty, but it's better for the second owners not to bother and when handing back, just hold the manual gearbox lever with your hand. By the way, by 200 to 300,000 kilometers, the linkage of the lever can become loose. If the salesman offer an update in the oil box every 60,000 kilometers, don't refuse, it will not be worse, even if it is considered maintenance-free. In all-wheel drive transmission, check the condition of the outboard bearing, universal joint and transfer case with an electromagnetic clutch, as well as the answers of the CV joints and drives. Separately, it is worth mentioning of the variator. On the third generation of the crossover is an upgraded version of the X-Tronic, which according to the Japanese is much more durable than its predecessor. With regular oil change after 40,000 kilometers, it is able to run up to 250,000 kilometers without major repairs. True, during this time you will have to change some race expensive consumables, for example a push belt. However, so far this continuously variable transmission has not had any serious breakdowns. We hope that the flight will continue to be normal. Same as with the pendant. She is independent on the X-Trail, short stroke at harsh, what you need for high-speed voyages. But you can't expect much comfort from her on a country road or dirt road. At the same time, it is characterized by extreme creakiness. Every third owner of a crossover complains about unpleasant lingering sounds from the bowage of the chassis. It is the shock absorbers that creak when driving through bumps due to the strut bumpers popping out of their seats. The problem is treated with lubrication, however, for not a too long time. At Science 27, the Japanese began to install modified shock absorbers that work silently. However, even with the installation of upgraded shock absorbers, parasitic noises come from the bowels of the suspension, which is the fault of the rubber silent box of the front levers, which are sensitive and covered with cracks. In this case, only replacement with new parts is provided. Otherwise, there are usually no problems with the suspension, except for the replacement of consumables. So, second-hand Nissan X-Trail will not let you down. At risk, this crossover has only a variator, and even that modernized one, as the Japanese issue, it has become more trouble-free and more durable. If you are afraid of this expensive and, in your opinion, compression mechanism, choose modification with a manual gearbox, which is combined with a diesel engine and a 2-liter Custom engine. If you have had such a model, share information about what and how it breaks in the comments.